So they'd rather build Whole Foods. And so we said, you know what? UC originally brought it to build gardens and see how we can better sustain ourselves. And so let's do that anyway.
I'm Sergeant Tucker with the University of California Police Department. I represent the Regents of the University of California and the Chancellor of the University of California at Berkeley.
And the 1%.
You are in violation of Section 602 of the California Penal Code. You are trespassing on University of California property at the Gill Tract. I order you to leave immediately. Failure to do so could lead to fine and/or arrest.
Great. Sounds like yesterday.
We got that?
As a dean, where I also have to think about the interests of my faculty, that we need to get this dialogue going, and we already have a problem in terms of, I have several faculty whose research has been sort of, okay, this is your lab, but we'd like you to do it somewhere else. That's a pretty tough message to deal with.
Fundamentally, the fact that there is a 10 acre, but this field we're standing in, 5.3 acre urban open agricultural space that is Class 1 soil. It's available to the neighborhood, the local community, the greater East Bay community, and it's not being utilized, we feel is just absurd.
I hear your concern about the water and about the kinds of information you're being given.
The university has said through the media that they would send folks to speak with us before,
That's
and
right.
they said a couple of days ago, and rather than sending someone to speak with us, they turned off the water. And they said that there was going to be a public forum today for the community to express their opinions on the rezoning, and rather than
You mean Albany or separate?
Albany.
Okay.
The Albany city was supposed to have this public forum, and instead of letting that happen, the line item gets pulled about this issue. It seems that they're not really interested in dialogue.
I am going to go back and talk to California about this. What else do you want me to hear from you right now?
What else do you want?
We'd like the water turned on.
Well, no, I've got that note already down. Jeff, you're older and wiser than I am. What do you have to say?
I feel like this has been happening for 15 years.
Yeah.
And so I'm really strongly sympathetic to
And I
what's
think
happening.
you were more involved the last time around.
I was very involved. Yeah, I'm quite beaten down actually. And I'm quite involved over in Richmond, where we do advocate, land reform. We take empty land, you put it into gardens where people can create assets for themselves and like. I'm also concerned about my faculty. I mean, the people who depend on this area for their research, because I know how painful that can be. It's their life. How this can work out together somehow is something I'd like to see.
A positive aspect is that they were waiting to till this under to develop the research, right? So that hasn't started yet. So we do have alternative options that we can maybe think about and explore as a way to resolve that. It's not like we tore out their corn,
Right. No, I understand.
So we're at a better level of negotiating, I feel, at this point.
What's happened is, you do need to talk about kind of research as a long-term process. So what you've sort of torn up is their plans, right? That's been in place, that they've had the grants for, that they were counting on to carry forward their research. I don't know myself what the alternatives are, but I do think that does deserve a consideration in the dialogue, and I agree. It'd be wonderful if we could figure out a way to work that out.
I'm Mara, and I'm an Albany resident, and I've been working on this Gill Tract thing for, 12, 15 years, how often. But I want to say, and maybe this is the wrong thing, and people can stop me and I will stop, but I want to know about you as professors in a public university, particularly with your position, in the issues on sustainability. Where have you been to help us, the community? You're asking consideration for some of these researchers. I'm asking you to consider our children, all of our children. I have 3 kids that live right up there, 2 of them with asthma. Whole Foods is going to come in and bring another 11 to 18,000 cars into our community. So I think that my grandchildren and all the other children, we have the 2nd highest asthma rates in the state, need some consideration, and I'd like it to come from my professors at public universities. I was an academic myself. So I hear what you're saying, consider these people. I'm asking you to consider these thousands and thousands of children in future generations and your jobs. And I was pushed out of a university for political reasons. So I paid the price. I'm going to say the rest of us need to stand up as citizens of this country, as parents, as grandparents, and I'm going to put that out to you as faculty. Just need to say it.
I understand this is your sustainability issue and you want us focused on this one, and we are here, and there is, I think, some resonance.
I mean, the students here proposed an international center. You could all become grander, even, right? Gone to more conferences all over the world. Be seen as so, so on and so forth.
I chaired the committee that proposed this 10 years ago, or 12 years ago.
That was the earlier version. It was a later version.
I'm sure there was, I mean, this has been going on for a long time.
And so let's talk about, if it has been going on for a long time, what are the barriers to it succeeding? Let's brainstorm. As a collective, right? As a community, we all have our own stakes, we all have our own interests, and we all have our own abilities and mindsets, right? Let's brainstorm. What are the barriers? If this has been going on for 15 years where people have been trying to establish a sustainable program here, why has it not happened?
Okay, good point. And that could be a starting point for the next discussion.
I think so.
Okay.
I gotta get some bare root trees in the ground before they dry out.
We were accused of destroying Miguel's plot, and
I thought you'd strung it off.
Right, but the statement that was issued said that we were interfering with agricultural research, including a section that provided food for the needy, which is what Miguel does from time to time. That the broccoli's donated.
Right.
Please see that we've reserved his land, and we'd love if you guys can issue a retraction.
And in addition to that, there are no open latrines out here.
Good.
Which I suppose I am.
Make sure.